trying to see what the move is and how we can grow. And have tangible goals at the same time. I think that's very important because a lot of people set goals and they're like, I want to do this, but the goals we set are tangible and you can see them. So I think that's something that we look forward to continue doing and just having fun with as we continue to progress.
What are some goals y'all have right now?
Well, we going to South by in a couple weeks, so that's the first time we going to Texas. Shout out to Curbside Zones, that's the homie right there. He produced the whole project for Lately I've Been Soul Searching. He produced over half the project for the next joint, Lately I've Been Soul Searching too. And I knew him since my Ilios days, and like that was mad cool. And he kind of reached out over Twitter, and we never met each other. So that's like my Twitter brother.
That's real though. That's real. I met so many people through like Twitter. Who, like I never met in person, but then like once I meet them in person, like, hey, what's up? What's going on?
Word, yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like it's been easier to create since you had a team behind you?
I feel like it has been easy to create, and also like it pushed me even further since I have a team behind me. But I feel like I'm in a mode where I can get into the studio, I can just write how I want to write. And then for this project, like 44 Fours, when I was first starting off writing rhymes, it was mainly punchlines. And I was focusing on punchlines. But 44 Fours is like a concept. And the concept was I'm gonna say 44 times in this song. So putting things like that into context and being like, this is how I'm gonna show I have the ability to be a wordsmith, but at the same time, I want to show you what I can really do. And I feel like this next project, Lately I've Been Soul Searching 2, is gonna be the best example of that.
And back to the 44 Fours concept. Like, how did you come up with that?
So I had the concept, the Lately I've Been Soul Searching, just to like get a whole like basis. It went with Where the Sun Never Rises, which was like the full length project. And I had kept that in mind, so I'm gonna do soul, like Latin for sun, to tie it in all together. So for this next project, I wanted to be like, I'm gonna study hip hop again. So I went back, I studied MF Dooms, Jay-Z's, and all that. And Jay-Z did 22 Twos. So I'm like, if he did 22 Twos, let me try 44 Fours. Yeah, type thing. And I did it, so.
That was tight, man. The way you fit everything. Like, I was trying to count all the fours, but I'm not good at math. So I lost count after 4. No, but I actually really love like those types of songs. Like the very first Chance song I ever heard was 22 Offs.
22 Offs, yeah.
And it's like I really like those like types of songs that try to like squeeze in like those like little like nooks and crannies of like words and whatnot. So that stuff was tight.
Why 4? Is that a special number to you?
I'm into like, it is a special number to me, but 4, I knew 4, it was like a word I could use. Like that's a very, very popular word. Like I can use fortune, foresight, like words that use like prefixes and things like that. I knew I could basically use that. But also 4 is culture and like supreme mathematics, and I'm like very into like math and like just studying like spirituality, and that tends to be a number that's universal. Like it's 4 corners of the world, 4 corners, like, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. Just kind of ties in like the whole 360 effect. So I wanted to show that with like being an MC, like I can do whatever you put on my mind or whatever you want me to do, I can execute it essentially.
So speaking of spirituality, so then what was the process for Lately I've Been Soul Searching?
The thing was I was like going through a lot of things during the summer, so I was like, man, it wasn't a choice if I wanted to do something or not. So I kind of made sure I just kind of got on my grind. And then my auntie had passed. So that's why I was like, I want to soul search. I want to find my purpose. So after that happened, I kind of got really into like just looking into what I want to do and being able to realize who I was and move from that point forward. And when I did that, I started finding out new things about myself and be like, I love hip hop. And I love it just as much as I did when I was 15, just as much now. And when that happened, I started thinking of things, just how to be better as an MC. I didn't want to make the same records I was making a couple years ago, and I wanted to show my growth. And with that being said, spirituality, like the cover arts, the first one was made and I kind of had like a sword and I had the city behind me. But if you notice on the second one, I got like scars and stuff on me. So it's just like the symbolism, like I got these battle wounds, but I'm finna get through this. Yeah.
So you said you went back and listened to Hove and Doom. Yeah. So who do you think influenced you as an MC?
MF Doom is definitely my favorite like MC. The funny thing was I was on this 8th grade trip in Washington D.C. and my history teacher, he was just a hip hop head. And me and my homies on the bus like, yo, Nas top 5, woo woo woo. And he like, but y'all ain't never heard of Buddy right here. He dropped the phone, and it's like Special Hers what he got on right now. And we like, no, it was actually Rap Snitches. And we were like, bro, what is this? This is a dude with a mask. And I'm like, yo, who is this dude? And I get onto it. I'm like, bro, it changed my life. And then after that, we would like go to the mall, and we would be listening to like Special Hers freestyling. Then what really changed my life, I was typically like a quiet kid, very reserved. I ain't like big crowds. But I was like really into A$AP Rocky back in like 2011, 2012, and he was at Pitchfork. And then my pops knew I was like into hip hop, so he was like, man, you should really go. And I didn't want to get out of my comfort zone. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to do this type. But then after that happened, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna step out my comfort zone today. And I saw him perform and rap, and I was like, I could do that too. And my homie Lumo, who still like produced, like be around me and everything, he was like, bro, I make beats. I was like, I rhyme, and then it just kind of came from that. We've just been making music ever since.
So who had the best verse on One Train?
On One Train?
Yeah.
That's a good question. That's a good question. It depends what day it is. Because some days I'll be like Joey. Some days I'll be like Big Crit. I like A$AP verse though too. I like A$AP and Kendrick. That's a hard question, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good bars in there.
I go with Joey.
Yeah, I was about to say Joey usually, yeah. But
I go with Big Crit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to think about how Joey was like, I think he was like 17 at that time.
Yeah, he was
17,
pretty young.
yeah, he was young. His voice was like changing too.
Yeah.
That's one thing I went to. Like when I first started making music, my voice was very different. Like my voice is like deep now, so I had to like adjust to certain things like that musically.
Yeah, but so let's talk about your upcoming project though. Like I've been so like, what are some things that we should expect from it?
You should expect a grown Musa. This like the last Musa was a 18, 19-year-old boy. This one a 20, 21-year-old man. Got a lot of knowledge, a lot of thought that's going into his work, and a lot of persistence. And with this project, I want to show that I'm one of the top MCs not only in the city but out here. Period. So that's the goal.
And you mentioned that Curbside Jones, who's more than half of it, but like, who's some of the other like key players that played a role in that project?
My other homie Skill, who produced Let 'Em Know. They the executive produced. They produced all of the project for me.
Decent. And what's the chemistry like with them?
Though like it was different for this project because with Curbside, the process is different for both of them. And I guess what I can say is like with Curbside, we send each other like folders or ideas, and we get things. With Skill, which is we call him Fleetwood, I got an idea, Joe. So flip this sample, flip it this way, and then I'll write the song around the sample. So it's a couple songs on the project that you can see that the sample is the name of the song, or it was a concept that I created to go around it. And I hear music in colors, and me and Curbside was talking about that. So a lot of my songs, 44/4 sounds blue to me. So whenever I write a song, it sounds like a color. It's kind of like making a painting for me. It is like putting it all together, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, like how does because I know like I've seen like articles how like Kanye says he like sees like music in colors and then like other artists, but like how does that work? Like what is blue to you in music? Like what colors look like? You feel me?
Okay, to be more specific, I don't necessarily see notes in the air, but when I hear 44/4s, I see the color royal blue, like a color blue. It's a song called on a project called Pay the Price. It sounds green to me. Let 'Em Know sound like a navy blue. They just evoke certain things in my brain that just make me see this color whenever I hear it. So it's kind of just putting things together to make it diverse and be like, okay, this is this is that, and just being as intricate as possible with it. And the one thing about it, I try to be multisyllabic. So every rhyme, I make sure every part of the word rhyme in. And if one word off, I'm tossing the whole line. I'm gonna be honest. I'm that type of person. I'm very picky. Like I don't like. Yeah, I want it to be as perfect as possible.
So what specific song did you have to like continuously rewrite till you got it perfect? And how many times did that happen? How many revisions?
That I had to rewrite. Okay.
Yeah. What's the most revisions you ever done?
I had to rewrite. This was on the last project. What I like.
Okay.
Because it was tying in basically all the hip hop. It was a lot of hip hop references. So I had to make sure I can make it not sound corny, but like put all my influences into that record. I rewrote that. For this next one, I really didn't rewrite, to be honest. I kind of just pinned it first and I just went with it. But What I Like and Play for Keeps.
Yeah.
Those two songs I rewrote. And I changed the concepts, like I put hooks on them and I kind of made them more cohesive for what I was doing.
For sure. For What I Like specifically, is there anyone that you left off that you're like, I wanted that person in there, didn't get to?
Yeah, Black Thought, Sean Price,
Okay.
Bone Thugs. It was a couple people. After I got done, like Tribe, I could have used the line, but it was just been like overkill at that
True.
point. Yeah, so, but What I Like was definitely something I wanted to do because I want to come up with an idea of how I met a girl, but I didn't want to be like this cliche like love song. So I'm like, how about I tell her how we go record shopping and like use the rappers' names as puns to go throughout the track, and I thought that was cool.
That's dope. One of the things that I definitely seen within this project, and also a lot of the singles that you've been dropping recently, these last two, specifically with Let 'Em Know and 44-4, is attitude change.
Word.
Attitude, and I'm talking about like aggressiveness that wasn't there before.
Word. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of people been saying that to me. I'm just hungry, man. Empty appetite, to be honest. And as I said, I wanna show people that I can really rap. I'm coming to rap this year. And it should not be, just letting the work talk.
So for you, what happened to where you're like, I gotta come at it harder than I did before. I'm not like letting things in anymore. I'm just gonna go at it 100%. Because I thought that was like one of the things. Even when it came to cursing, you were very subjective about like putting cursing in your songs. It's like, this kid's getting a little crazy now. Before
getting older, yeah.
So where does that aggressiveness come from?
Getting older, also figuring out my voice, like figuring out the tone of my voice. I'm starting to learn how to play with my voice more, and like figure out what the tone does, how I can inflect my voice in certain ways. And the past projects, I was still getting into that, but now I understand myself way better. And with that being said, I just realized what I can do and what I can improve on, and I got hungry. And I always been hungry. It always been 110%. But when you got people behind you that's just as dedicated, it's like, nah, like this is what we're gonna do, and this is what's going to happen. And I've just been very excited, just very grateful for the opportunities I've been given, because the spaces I've been given by RTC, the students and everything, everybody, just give me an open mind and a space to be able to create and be in this mind state where I can be just headstrong and be able to be open-minded at the same time. And that's one thing I always want to be as an artist. The reason why I'm able to be more aggressive is because I value other people's opinion, and I take what they say, and I just don't tune them out. But at the same time, I make sure that I'm acknowledging what I want to do myself and keeping a balance.
And what I want to talk about now is like how you balance your music career as a student, as a college student. Because I mean, I know for me as it is, like being a college student is like killing me. Like it's like overdrive. So I don't imagine how it is. There's some balance in music too.
What's that line on 44-4s? I used to forgo a couple classes to pursue a couple bucks, like all the time. Like I don't really skip class. I kind of make sure that I keep whatever I'm doing balanced. So I make sure I do my schoolwork and everything while doing the rap thing. But it's difficult at times. But I wanted to get a degree as much as I want to rap, and I want to be the best at every avenue I'm in life, and I don't want to take no shortcuts. I don't believe in taking the shortcuts. I believe in hard work and moving in that way. So school is important to me because I learned a lot from Columbia. And when I went to Columbia, everything I thought I would get out of it, I have gotten out of it. And I didn't want to leave the city of Chicago because I love Chicago. And being here and staying in Chicago is very important to me.
So I'm an artist too. Are you ever in class and you like learn something that you want to incorporate in your rhymes?
Yeah, sometimes I hear words. It can just be like the simplest thing, and I hear a word and it spark a whole verse. And they see me write, I'll probably write a verse like in some 15 minutes. If somebody say something, and I take things not only from class to apply to my music, but outside of my music in terms of like business and stuff too. And I'm learning that in school. So just being able to communicate and be involved in my music career and having a label behind me that loves that is the perfect match for me,
Yeah, well, what are you studying?
I'm studying music business.
Oh, decent. So it's like everything like kind of comes full circle.
Yeah.
So that's really gonna help you out in the long run.
Yeah.
But let's talk about like you're from the West Side.
Word.
Like,
West Side.
Hell yeah.
Gang.
So like, what was that like? Just like that environment. Like how is that growing up in the West Side? How did that maybe influence you into going into music?
The first thing I would definitely like to say is because people make fun of the way I talk. Say I got an accent. And I be hearing myself talk sometimes on video. I hear it and I'm like, yeah, the accent is very big. But just being able to grow out west. I was born out west, grew up in Austin, and then we moved to Woodside, which is like Broadview. I live in Broadview, Maywood, Hillside, Bellwood, Westchester. And being out there, it was very similar. Like Woodside and Westside are very similar to each other. It's different too because it's a little bit closer to downtown. So I would be able to take trips to the Loop and like figure out things. So when I was younger in high school, I would go to like Juggernaut, and I would go to just a lot of streetwear scene stores within the scene. Being able to do that and have your own culture. I didn't realize how much culture Chicago had in general until I got older. So a lot of people make fun of me for this, but I love Uncle Remus. And like people be like, Joe, Harold's this, Harold's that. I'm like, no, boy, I'm finna go give you some Uncle Remus. This is my purpose, you feel me? But the mouth sauce better in my opinion. This is what it is. But stuff like that is very unique to the West Side. Hearing people such as Twister, Lupe, do it like the Crucial Conflicts, Snipers, all that. I grew up on that, and I think it's a certain agility to our voices.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So just being able to know when to speed up flows and to slow them down, and just be smooth with it. It's all about being smooth on the West Side of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just be trying to be as smooth as possible, basically swimming between the flows and everything. So being out west is definitely a thing I take pride in, and seeing people like Salva, Joey Pert, fellow West Side of Super, people that grew up out there do their thing is definitely an inspiration for me, just to see them come up the way they are and be as persistent as they are.
Decent.
Did you ever go through YCA, Young Chicago Office?
Yeah, I just performed at the winter block party for the MCA.
He's in every rec shop picture you can ever find. This kid is there every week.
Shout out to YCA. I'm there every week. Shout out to Attitude.
When are they gonna make you one of the guest judges, man?
I don't know. We gotta ask them.
Ask Attitude real quick.
We gotta ask them. Yeah.
Cool. Going back to a lot of the Columbia and Amp stuff. What's the best advice that RTC's given you? Because he's a cat that has probably known you since you were younger. I mean, even when you were back in the Ilios, you were recording out of Soundscape, right?
Yeah. I didn't know RTC at the time, but when I released Another Dose, that's when I started to gain attention in the city. I really didn't know him like personally, but people were like looking at my music and stuff, so that was really cool. I think that RTC, he gives me the ability to make mistakes, and that's the best thing that he does. He let me make a comment before he makes one, and I can tell you, that's a great idea, Musa. That's great work, and I appreciate that a lot because it allows me to get certain knowledge and then move around that. And Alex is very confident with the work, and it allows me to be very confident with my own work too. And that's something that I'm very grateful for, because when you have somebody, you believe in your own music, but when other people do too, that's something that's just easier to move forward in the process,
That is very true. And then also when it comes to you performing live, how has been your development in that area?
Crazy. We be moshing, to be honest. Like, the shows get pretty lit now, yeah. Like, you see, like, if you see certain video footage, things like that, we be moshing. We got a couple shows coming up. Just getting on different lineups, meeting new people. I've been working with a lot of different people within the city. I don't know if I can talk about it right now.
Okay. No, you don't have to.
Yeah. No, I mean, I want to, but
Yeah, you know what you got to do.
Yeah, but yeah, people I've been respected, that's respectable within the city, that's talented within the city. Everything just basically been a dream. So just seeing them acknowledge me, because I seen them as a kid, I seen them as a youngin' just coming up like, them dudes are great. And for them to say, oh, you next, you got this, is something that's very important to me. And something I don't take for granted,
Right.
So with that being said, even like the Johnny, Johnny coming in next, he's been a big supporter too. And we've been just finding friends within the industry that's like-minded is very important.
Yeah, the last show I'd been to, I think it was in November, December at Columbia, when you were the headliner. He was one of the opening acts. So I think it's very cool to see what Columbia's doing, because I think you guys are the only school that has that type of culture. Like, we have open mics here, but you don't have a whole hip-hop scene within a whole institution, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're dope too. Like, shout out to Noah, Alexi, everybody that roll out that. Yeah, like, those, it's a group of kids that's just hungry and just know what they want to do. And it's great to see, because when you see other people doing great within the city, it just made me happier. It made me want to do more too. It'd be like, when you see your friend or your homie doing it, it's the greatest thing. I never felt so good in the last couple of months as I ever felt, because I see a lot of people around me just doing what they want to do and they genuinely happy, and that means a lot to me. So
that's what's up. Yeah. And with these two projects specifically, is it a plan to drop the third part of the volume, or are you dropping your full length?
We got a little something in the works, but just 2 for now.
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. The upcoming project you're dropping, March 2nd.
Yep, that's right.
Give me more info about that.
March 2nd.
Because you just dropped the first part not that long ago.
I dropped it.
So you're moving fast.
Yeah, man, we out here.
So what's the thought process behind like 2 back-to-back projects within that time span?
I knew that I knew that it would be a double part. So I knew it would be like multiple parts to this, and it tied into a bigger series. I wanted to make sure that I kept that in mind while doing it, and I didn't want to be too far apart where you waiting on music and seeing how different it is. I wanted to show the growth. I grew in that time, so I want to put this music out to show where I'm at right now. If I grow again, I'm gonna grow again, you know. And with that being said, I just wanted to make sure that people see what I'm doing, see the work, and show how different this is. Like you said, it sounds different, so I want to keep on showing that progression. And time does that. But I really like this music, and I wanted to be out, and I'm going to South by. I want to be out when I'm out there, and I want to keep on just growing it in any possible way that I can.
When you're out at South by, is that going to be as a part of AMP, or is that just you?
I got shows. We throwing a showcase for AMP, so it's going to be an AMP showcase down there, and then I'm doing shows down there too, outside. So.
What is the biggest thing you're looking forward to, a part of that?
Going to Austin, networking, meeting. I work with John Scott a lot. Curbside, they from Austin.
Okay.
So this will be my first time meeting them.
So they better put you under like best eating spots.
I was about to say tacos,
They
the
don't got
barbecue.
they don't got Reems
here.
out there, but they got some good barbecue out there.
Yeah, for sure. The barbecue, the tacos, all of that. We going for that.
Ooh.
So I'm excited about the food, the music, just putting in more work down there when I'm also down there experiencing a different city, because I haven't been outside of Chicago in a while, so it feels good to have music take you somewhere else too. So it's real dope. So I'm excited about that. Get on a plane, tee up.
What's the next big thing for you?
Next big thing?
Yeah.
I'm dropping a video on my birthday, February 27th.
Which is gonna be what? This upcoming Tuesday?
Yep, for 44 fours.
What are you doing for your birthday?
Teeing up? What you mean? Double lit.
Hey, going up on Tuesday.
On a
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, we get double lit. Like, I'm just trying to have bad fun. We got a party. We doing a release party on Friday. Information coming for that too. Before we go to South by, and then I got a couple more shows after that also. Just laying down more music, staying focused.
Staying focused?
Yep.
I never asked you this question, but what would you tell a kid pre-Ilios? What's the best advice you would give yourself at that stage of your life?
When I was in Ilios?
Before, because you said it didn't happen until before that.
Right. I would tell myself, trust yourself. Basically what I did, stay persistent no matter what. If you love music, keep doing it. Just be persistent and be patient. Things don't happen overnight. Yeah. So I would tell myself.
So, where do you ultimately want to see the music take you, geographically?
Worldwide, internationally.
You want to perform in Africa?
Yeah. I mean, I don't like set limits on things. I want to be as big as I possibly can be. Yeah. And I believe that's possible. So.
Wakanda 2019.
I just saw Black Panther last night, so
What are your first thoughts about the movie?
It was great to me. I mean, it was real. It was a real dope concept. It kept me interested the whole time. All black cast. Shout out to black people. I love black people. Shout out to black women. Protect black women at all costs. You know what I'm saying? But it was a great film. I might see it the second time. To be honest, that's how good it was.
I feel that.
Yeah. So shout out. Go to the theater, support it. Just get that money up in the box office.
True. Last question would be, for those that don't know you, what you would tell people about Musa Reems, either the artist or the individual? Like, what is the biggest things that they can take away from you? Individually and as a musician.
Okay. As a musician and individually, I'm open-minded, kind. I want to see everybody eat. I want to see everybody eat. I think it's space for everyone in this world. It don't got to be division. It can be competitive, but you don't have to put people down for that. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody can to be whoever they want to be in life. As an artist, I'm a hard-hitting MC. I want to say. I like hitting people over the head with bars.
Okay, respect.
I'm open to trying new things, vocally, everything. Producers, as an individual, I'm growing as a young black man in America from the west side of Chicago. Being out here, seeing different things, and just being supported.
For sure. What are some ways people can put money in your pocket right now? How can people invest in you right now?
Okay, Joe, y'all.
Because this is a question people need to answer.
We got a lot of merch. So you want that young T-shirt?
Yeah.
You got that young T-shirt.
How do they get one?
Go to my website. Go to shop.
Okay, what's your website?
Musa Reems. Everything is Musa Reems. MusaReems. My Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, Snapchat, all that.
Okay, respect. And now we're gonna get into this freestyle real quick.
Okay.
You said you were down.
Yes, I was. I'm always down.
And
I'm gonna bring in Jalen to record it.